All right, so today I'm doing a review on a product that I've used for about 3 months now, and I've been so happy with this thing. To give you a little background of where I'm at with portable power, I've got a few power stations that I use that are really big and bulky. I've got a whole bunch of these guys, and these are great for on-the-go power if you want to charge up something like a phone. Even some of the drones you could charge up with this, but they were always kind of lacking. Even if they had the capacity, I was just lacking on one major thing. And so that one major thing is a power outlet. So that's what led me to pick this unit up, is for the power outlet if we're ever out of power at the house, or if I need to charge a laptop or something that's a little bit more power hungry. I wanted something that could kind of do it all. So that's where I got to this bad boy. And this packs 100 watts out of the 3-prong outlet. So it has AC, DC power. We have two USBs, USB-C, and with the 2019 model that I have here, you actually get wireless charging as well, which is really cool. So I'm going to show you that in a minute. But on the box, they tell you right out of the gate, you can charge up a GoPro about 10 times, full SLR camera about 5 times. One of the biggest smartphones like the 11 Pro, you could do 5 times. Tablet 1 to 2 times, and you're going to get around 1 to 1 1/4 charges out of a laptop. So laptops being the most power hungry. It comes in this nice case, and actually after 3 months I found that I liked having the case because it's got this nice foam material which is really durable. It also does have a USB to the Type-C as well as Type-C to Type-C to charge the unit itself. So that's also really handy that they give you those cords. So I kind of like to keep it all together. Some of the things that I've noted as being the most positive of this is the fast charging. So the reason that you know that it has fast charging is when you turn on the unit and you plug something into it, the display on this thing is fantastic. So again, that's what would set that apart from anything else. The most you're getting on these things is like a battery gauge on the cheaper ones. But on this, they're actually telling you what your power output is. So coming out of the unit when you're charging other devices, as well as the power input. So when you're charging this device itself, through its USB Type-C connection, it's showing you the incoming and outgoing, and that's actually really handy, especially now that Omnicharge came out with a solar panel for this. That is a big deal, because then if you're in a power outage situation, do I have more wattage coming in or do I have more going out? Am I going to deplete the battery or not? So those are really good things to note. Also, this thing will maintain its charge for up to a year. So if you're the type of person that's only going to use this for emergency type situations, you're fine. You can charge it up once a year and you should be good to go. The other cool thing with this is it is 20,000 milliamps on the battery, milliamp hours, which is really good. So again, as I stated, you're going to get quite a bit of charge. Even out of a TV, I could run my 24-inch TV for about 3 hours, which is really cool. So if I'm out, if we're camping, if we're out in the woods, if we're just away from power, it can actually have this going long enough to watch, say, a football game or a movie. If you want to throw a small TV in the car for the kids, you could easily power it off of this as long as you stay under that 100 watts. Now, I did find when you're doing that, it is helpful to kind of turn the brightness down on the TV, and also an LED TV is going to get that to last a little bit longer than just a regular traditional TV. So those are some of the positives with this. A few of the cons that I had noted after 3 months, you're spending, roughly $200 on this depending on when you buy it. So $200 is basically all of my other chargers combined. So, you kind of expect that this is going to pack a punch. So it is a high price tag to get into it. But again, to get that battery technology, that lithium ion battery power is, comes at a cost. So when we look at the reviews on some of the bigger devices, such as like a big portable power station. The reason those are so big is typically they have sealed lead acid batteries. It's a cheaper technology, but it's super heavy. They're cumbersome. This puts out nearly the same power as a lot of those do in something that's a form factor this small. I mean, you could practically even fit this in a lot of pockets. So even in my hooded sweatshirt, I can go ahead and throw it in a pocket there and walk around like that, or even a bigger coat pocket would not be a problem. So those are really nice things. So other thing I'd noted here is it only has 2 USB slots. Something like this, I guess with this kind of output, I would expect to have a little bit more. So, maybe like 4 would be great. Even on a lot of these, you're getting 3 on some of these cheaper power banks. So, I guess that would have been one thing I'd like to see is some expanded USB power. And another thing to note too is, if you're charging something like a laptop and you don't want this to run as hot and drain quite as quickly, and it will charge via USB-C, that would be a more efficient route to go for you. So, that being said, it output charges fairly quickly. The unit itself doesn't charge as quickly as I had hoped. This is kind of one of those things, if you deplete it, you're going to plug it in and kind of let it sit overnight to charge. It's almost kind of like at a trickle charge type of speed. So I kind of expected it to go a little bit quicker, maybe in a couple hours, but it definitely will not charge for me in a couple hours. It takes quite a bit longer. The other thing that I noted, and it's nice that it has it, is a battery gauge or a temperature gauge for the battery. This thing does tend to heat up, especially when you have multiple things plugged in. I did find with my iPad, when my iPad's totally dead and I plug it in, right by the USB ports, it is actually hot to the touch. So that's something that makes me a little bit nervous spending $200 and the thing gets, pretty toasty. So just be mindful of that. Another thing that you'll probably notice from some of these shots is that you do get fingerprints. It is kind of a matte type material. It's not quite rubberized, but I think they did that to make it so when you put things on for the wireless charger, you're not going to have it sliding around too much. So that's a trade-off I'm willing to take. It's going to show some prints, but it will hold devices on it a little bit easier. Something else that's pretty cool is you can independently turn on and off these USBs. So the USBs are connected with the wireless on one button, and then there's a separate dedicated button for the outlet on the side. So that's kind of neat. So even if you want to leave something plugged in, but you want to turn it off, you can do it just by a push of a button and it's off. So those are some things, and I'm going to show some examples of what this thing can charge. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click both the outlet and the USBs and the wireless charging on there. I've got a standard digital camera charging, positioning a phone to where it needs to be on the wireless charger, and last but not least, I'm going to throw a laptop on there and attaching it to the 3-prong outlet and watching the wattage go up as I attach things. Overall, I have just been super happy with this. We get 71 watt hours, and so that again is really good capacity on something this small. And this is actually not even the biggest one that they make. They make one that's about twice the size of this. So that's really cool. And I guess if I just had one gripe about product and offering that Omnicharge has, I would really like to see the solar panels get a little bit cheaper. I think when they're almost the cost of this unit, or some of even the smaller units, it just gets to a point where as slow as it charges, it just doesn't seem feasible. And when I was looking, I couldn't even find reviews on their solar panels. So it kind of makes me wonder, if that's something that's even worth buying at this point, or if you'd be better off stepping up into like a Goal Zero product that's a little bit more capable with a wider array of offerings. But I just like this for the form factor, and I think that's what you'd be buying it for. So really appreciate you guys all tuning in. I hope this review was helpful. If you'd like to see anything else with the Omnicharge or any other products, shoot me up a comment in the comments section, and I look at those daily. So thanks again for watching, and we will see you in the next video.